Hi friends, today we are working on the partial difference method of subtraction. So go ahead and write that in your notebook. Partial differences is very similar to partial sums. So kind of watch and follow along with me. I'm going to do 746 minus 263. Now just like when we're adding, we're going to do a ballpark estimate in order to make sure our answer is reasonable. So I'm going to round to the nearest hundred right here because I noticed that both of them have a common hundreds place. So when I'm rounding to the nearest hundred, I care about the 4. When I count 1, 2, 3, 4, no thumb, so I'm going to round, stay the same. So 746 rounds to 700. I round to 263 to the nearest hundred. I care about the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my thumb. I'm going to round up to 300. So 700 plus 300, or 700 minus 300. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 400. So there's my ballpark estimate to know whether my answer is reasonable. So as I go ahead and get this ready for partial differences, I'm going to get my hundreds column, my tens column, my ones. And just like partial sums, I'm going to start with this big hundreds column first. So I have 700 minus 200, which is 500. 40 minus 60, it's going to get me a negative number. 60 is 20 more than 40, so 40 minus 60 is a negative 20, and then 6 minus 3 is 3. So just like partial sums, I'm going to add up all of these partial differences. I'm going to put these in parentheses as I go along, keeping myself organized, knowing that I need to do what's in parentheses first. So I have 50 plus a negative 500 plus a negative 20. When I have a plus a negative, really, that's just subtracting. Whenever I'm adding a negative number, it's the same thing as subtracting. So I have 500 minus 20 plus 3. So 500 minus 20 is 480 plus 3 equals 483. So that is my difference of 746 minus 263. I always like to check my work, especially with subtraction, because I'm not always the best at subtracting. So I'm going to check this 746 minus 263 using my favorite, the trade first method. So I'll try 746 minus 263 using trade first. I need more on top. I've got more on top here. Oh, this will get me a negative number, so I'm going to go ahead and trade one of my hundreds for 10 tens. So now I've got more on top on all of those, so I have 6 minus 3 is 3. 14 minus 6 is 8, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So I still get 483, so my answer is correct. And Mrs. Treach is going to come on and do one more with you. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to take 886 minus 493, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give a ballpark estimate, and the way I like to do it is to say, is this 50 or more when we're dealing with a number in the hundreds, and it is, so we'd round up to 900. Is this 50 or more? We'd round up to 500. 900 minus 500, you can count out 6, 7, 8, 9, that'll give us 400. So there's our ballpark estimate to check when we're finished. For the partial difference problem, we're going to start always in the hundreds place.
looking right here, we're going to take 800 minus 400 gives us 400. Then we go to the tens place, and we go with 80 minus 90 gives us a negative 10. And then finally at the ones place, we've got 6 minus 3 equals 3. Now we're going to be adding all those together. Parentheses first, like Mrs. McGuire said. So we're going to start up here. We're going to write 400 plus a negative 10. Put that in parentheses. And plus and negative is the exact same thing as saying subtract. So 400 minus 10 equals 390. And then we're going to add our 3. And then we get 393. And we say, is 393 close to 400, our ballpark estimate? It is. And there we go.